DCP, I want to welcome you and your instructor, instructor inspector, uh, Vermuya
Vamuyan
Dolly,
Dollar. Yeah,
Vermuya
yeah,
Dolly
yeah, yeah.
to a beg to differ on Top FM 105.3, streaming live out of Zwedru City, Zulu Whiskey, in the southeast of Liberia. Um, we are on from Monday to Friday from 9 p.m. your time to 12 a.m. in the morning there. And here in the U.S. from 5 to 8 p.m. You are this is your first time on our show, so it is a pleasure to have you and Vermoyan Dolly on our show, sir. We are see my federal panelists are asking me if the show is on. You send the link to ask you the show is on. Yeah, the show is on. What do you want me to do? Frank, can you respond in the chat and tell us that the show is on? Because I can be talking to the DCP and be responding to that. Please tell them the show is on. Let them come on, please. Thank you. So
Yeah, sure. The show's on. That's right.
Right. So we do have a tradition here, DCP Dolly. And I want to give you a rundown
Yes, sir.
on what we do. So when we start halfway through the show, we're going to go to the lines, and then the listeners are going to call into the show, and then they're going to either ask you a question and ask Inspector Vermuya Dolly question, or they're going to make comments. And then when we come back, we're going to come back to you, and then you and Inspector Dolly are going to answer the question or respond to the comments. And then when we come back, we then roll on with the rest of the show until we close. In the process, as we go on, when any of the other panelists come on, we will stop in the middle and then they will introduce themselves to you. We said that just so that you are aware of how we operate here as we go forward. So that's just a rundown. I see, let me bring Mr. Dolly on the screen. So we got Mr. Dolly with us. I see a very impressive police badge on there. How you doing, Mr. Dolly?
Well, I'm good. I'm very, very happy to be on the show tonight.
All right. That's good. We're glad to have you too. So we're glad to have you. So having said that, I am Archie Wright. I will be your host for the night. Usually I will not go around the table so that the other panelists can introduce themselves. But because you guys are only here with veteran Fred and myself, I'm going to go to him, and then he's going to introduce himself. And perhaps he's going to introduce y'all, or he's going to turn over to y'all, and you're going to introduce yourself to the listening public. So, Veteran Smith, it's over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. My name is Fred Veteran Smith. You can call me that, or you can call me Fred Smith, but my radio name, Fred Veteran Smith. Today is a historical day to have two outstanding citizens of the Liberian National Police Force. I'm talking about the Deputy Commissioner for Safety, Deputy Commissioner of Police for Safety, Fred Gay, and the head of the Driver Education Inspector Vermuya Dolly as our special guest. They will be covering a lot of topics, including driver lesson requirements, refresher workshop for driving school instructors, public engagement, and the recent quarter accident statistics. So these are the focus of today's edition. I beg to differ, and this is the first time we have the National Police Force of Liberia as our special guest on I Beg to Differ. So this edition going to be a special one, and this will not be the last time we will have other members of the National Liberia Force as our guests, including the Director of Police. Sometime in the future, he will be with us, and also the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Sam Collins, will be our guest sometimes in the future. But for today's edition, we're going to focus on safety. And so we have who to talk about safety better than the Deputy Commissioner of Police Sengay. So we'll allow him to introduce himself. And then from there, I will introduce the Inspector General, and then we'll begin the show. So to you, Deputy Commissioner Fred Gay, he must have the same name. Welcome to I Bet to Differ for the first time on Top FM 105.3. Introduce yourself to our many listeners who might be enthusiastic today that we have somebody from the Liberian National Police Force as our special guest.
Thank you. My name is Deputy Commissioner of Police, that is normally called short DCP, Fred M. Gay Jr. I am personally the head of public safety in the Liberian National Police. I'm also a communicator. I'm also a communicator. That what I did in university. I did mass communication.
Thank you very much. A brief bow of yourself. Now, the inspector of the driving school, Vamunyan Moba Dolly, he's the head of the driver education Liberian National Police. He joined Liberian National Police 2004 and trained by ONMAIR in Public Safety Division. He served also LIB for about 20 years and obtained certificate in different perspectives: traffic control, traffic management, accident investigation, advanced road traffic accident investigation. And he served a traffic zone commander for about 7 zones within the 11 zone. He served as acting chief accident investigator from 2022 to 2022, and present he's the head of the driver education unit of the Liberia National Police. Welcome to I Bet to Different, both the director of the safety division, that DCP Fred Gay, and Inspector General Inspector Vamunyan Dolly. Welcome to I Bet to Different for the first time. Welcome to I Bet to Different for the first time. Welcome to the show.
Like I said,
Welcome to the show.
This is my first time on this platform, and I'm so happy to be here so that we can give some updates on traffic-related matters.
Okay.
Hold on. Hold 1 second. Let's go to the other panelists that are here so they can introduce themselves to the guests before we move on. Let's start with you, Mr. Nubo. Please introduce yourself to the guests.
Yes, I'm George Nubo. I'm one of the panelists here. From the Perspective magazine. I'm glad to meet you people here. Use this to be your home, your second home. Yes, and we'll be calling on you, every time we need your help or every time we have suggestions. Thank you. Welcome home.
Thank you, Mr. Newell. I go to Mr. Wright. Please introduce yourself to the guests.
Yeah, sure. But I will have to start with an appeal that I can't put my camera on this evening. I'm doing something in where I sit. So I will be with the show, and I prefer to be without a camera this evening. Having said that, and if I have your blessing, my name is Amos D. Wright, one of the panelists on this show. I come from the background of alternative dispute resolution / nonviolent communication, a consummate language instructor, and CSO actor. But I think I'd like to be called a panelist on I Beg to Differ. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Let's now go to Mr. Alex D. Wulu. Mr. Wulu, please introduce yourself, sir. Oh man. Alex, can you hear us?
I get it, you guys.
Can you introduce yourself, sir?
All right, so my name is Ellis D. Ulu. I'm the producer for the show I Beg to Differ. Let me say you are highly welcome to this show.
Thank you, Mr. Wulu. All right, let's go on to
Question.
Okay, welcome to the microphone got to be off, Alex. Okay, much better. Welcome to I Beg to Different. Our two distinguished guests today. I'm referring to the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Fred Gay, and the Inspector Vamunyan Dolly. So the first question to you, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Fred Gay, how will you describe safety on your watch today in Liberia?
Thank you. I will describe safety progressive initiative by my office. Public safety has been a division in the Liberia National Police by name, but when we took over that mantle of authority, we have extended an explicit engagement with public safety. Everybody in Liberia is feeling the weight and feeling the symptom of a public safety in Liberia.
So with safety, what are some of the things you have implemented that have contributed to smooth the safety concern of citizens?
When I took over that office as head of public safety or chief of public safety, there was a lot of fraudulent document floating all around the country. Fraudulent document means that people go register their vehicles not in the system. People are stealing driver licenses not in the system. I unearthed that from at the Ministry of Transport. I unearthed that. I arrested people, sent them the code. If you go to Ministry of Transport at the time, people will give you licenses that are not in the government system. People will give you driver license, the car registration without the system, and that was calmed down. And presently, that identical function have been transferred to the Ministry of Justice. Presently, the Ministry of Justice outsources the responsibility to traffic management.
Inspector Vamunyan Dolly, what are some of the driver lesson requirements? People listening to you today and want to know the requirement. What are some of the basic requirements?
First of all, are you there?
Yes, we can hear you.
So the host. I would like to take over the driver requirement. Then the inspector will purchase me.
Okay, I mean, however you guys want to run it, yeah.
So personally, before then, we just took over driver licenses, but required by the traffic law in this country that was enacted in 1956 and later on revised in 1973. It is the Ministry of Justice that is responsible for driver licenses. But when Madam Erin Justice came to power, she also that responsibility to the Ministry of Transport. So legally, that function has returned to police, and we are managing it. So right now in Liberia, before you obtain a driver license, number one, if you are an applicant, meaning new applicant, if you want to get into the driving public right now, you have to go to a driving school, obtain a driving school certificate first, then apply to the police for a driver license. When you apply to the police for a driver license, you will be tested and evaluated. When you pass the police test and evaluation, before you are now recommended for driver license. Just for Liberian. If you are not a Liberian, a non-Liberian, if you are coming into the country, you want to obtain a driver license, you must firstly have your resident permit. After you have your resident permit, if you are applying for a driver license for job, maybe you're going to work for a company, you have to get a working permit before you obtain that identical driver license. You get another thing, you got permitted. Permittee are people who are 16 years. Our law says people who obtain driver license in our country are 18 years and above. But if you 16 years old and you want to obtain a driver license, we will give you what we call instructional permit. And that instructional permit will last for 6 months. Before you obtain that instructional permit, you have to go to a driving school. Before they recommend you for driver licenses. That's the process right now for obtaining driver license in Liberia.
What you have noticed about that new requirement? Are people abiding by this new requirement? If so, what are some of the challenges?
So the new requirements, in fact, people are obeying it. But what we are doing now, the driving school certificate is not into force right now because personally, we are training the driving schools instructors. Look, blind man cannot lead another blind man. So our survey conducted in Liberia revealed that those driving schools in Liberia do not have the technical know-how about the rules of the road. Look, in our country, in Liberia, our traffic laws demands that all drivers not knowledgeable of the vehicle and traffic law. How then can you teach the vehicle and traffic law when you're not knowledgeable? So we are now training the instructors. After we have completed, we are training them for 4 weeks. This coming next Saturday will be the last 4 weeks. We will certificate them that now they are now qualified to train drivers in the rules of the road. After we have completed that, all applicants, all new applicants will be compared to go to driving school before coming to the police to do their test and obtain their driver license.
So you conducting a refresher course on training instructor. How effective is that course? And help us understand what are you really implementing when you're dealing with instructors?
The instructors, we are dealing with them comprehensively, meaning that we are dealing with them on the summary of the vehicle and traffic law. The vehicle and traffic law encompasses 12 chapters, 29 subchapters, 256 sections. Now, restrictingly, what is restricted to them for the driving school is chapter 10 of the vehicle and traffic law. The vehicle and traffic law has 12 chapters. Chapter 10 is strictly responsible for rules of the road. It is rules of the road that we are training them in so that they will be able to train their drivers in rules of the road.
Public engagement. When we talk about public engagement, to what extent the public engage the national police in terms of safety matters?
So the good thing about safety is everyone's business. Safety is not just the police business. So the police have to engage the public. And engaging the public is directed. The engagement is directed. Our direction is the driving unions. Number one, we have driving unions in Liberia. Well, if you want to travel to Grand Judea or the Southeast, you have to a parking station. Vehicle. The union is responsible for you to board a vehicle to your destination. We are engaging in unions. We are also engaging the insurance company of Liberia. That is the insurance community. In Liberia, we have comprehensive insurance, and then we have third-party compulsory liability insurance. So we are also engaging in insurance from that perspective. We are also engaging the driving unions, and then we are engaging the citizens themselves. We are engaging the drivers, and we are engaging the pedestrians. So that's what we call public engagement with the police.
So Dr. DCP Gay, Fred Gay, you heard your Inspector General putting all of this, how you engage the public. You as head of the safety division, can you add more to that? How is it coming on so far?
So the public themselves are very interested in this engagement. So when we engage the driving unions, those people who are responsible for vehicles and occupants and pedestrians, so when we engage them, they were very happy. We have a meetings, a comprehensive meeting at police headquarters. We invite those stakeholders to central headquarters, where we have extensive meeting concerning the safety of the public when it comes to the driving public.
Okay, Fred, let me have you do your last question, and then
Okay.
we'll move to the next.
Okay, before I turn it over, there is a major safety concern. How have you all addressed it? Where you telling motorcyclists to go certain area, not to come to the city. You have implemented that rule. How is it coming on? Are they abiding by it, or there are other measures you need to take?
Look, that's a good question. So they are abiding. Everywhere in every society, there are violators everywhere. So even for an example, in Liberia, rape case is a case that is non-biddable. Does it mean that rape have erased from Liberia? No. People are still engaged in that. So the no-go zone or motorcycle is not coming into strategic places is still enforced up to the letter. But however, we have few violators who are still picking chairs, but they are also meeting the laws as they violate.
Let's go to Mr. Amos D. Wright. Mr. Wright, your question is, sir.
Yeah. So, Honorable, my first question is,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is it like in terms of practical relationship between you and the drivers, since the dust has now settled that the LMT and something is now officially in charge of licensing? Why is it like between you and the drivers, practically, realistically?
So practically, the relationship between the drivers and the public safety with the police is that we are on good note, and we engage their unions. Firstly, we have a good chat. The unions, the driving unions, and the police. We have one good chat that we communicate our grievances to. We meet every time, and we have a practical engagement with the unions. Before I came, when personally I'm in Sanigole, before I came to Sanigole, I have a meeting with the unions. I normally have a meeting with the unions after every 2 weeks. So practically we are good. We are interacting physically and on communication and normal meetings with the unions. The union hires and the public safety are on good note. They relate to the public safety relate to them. So the relationship is particularly good.
Then let's switch over to the Ministry of Transport employees there, who, in my view, because I'm on the ground, don't seem too comfortable. It's like the people out from our mouth, if you want to put it in Liberian way. You want to please talk about what it is like between you and the people there? Do they think that it was bad, or have they come to understand that the government is trying to outsource for economic benefit for the greater good of the country?
Yeah, sure. Honestly, I will tell you that the relationship between the top and the top of the LMP is very good. From the middle and the middle of LMP is good, but from the grassroots in the ministry with the grassroots of the police is not still good. Personally, just to reveal this sensitive information, we are also investigating circumstances surrounding individuals in the ministry, not the ministry itself, but dubious individuals within the ministry. We are personally investigating them. As I'm speaking to you now, the public safety have arrested and charged the director for transport ministry for land transport, who is responsible to issue legibility certificate to the public, have been arrested, charged, and forwarded to court because he is providing fake legibility certificate to the public.
Breaking
Thank
news.
you, sir, and thank you, co-host.
Okay.
The next panelist.
Okay. Let's go to Mr. George H. Nubo. Mr. Nubo?
Yes. Kind of thinking. The driver's license here in the state of Pennsylvania are issued by PennDOT, Pennsylvania Department of Transportation. And that is our version of Public Works and Ministry of Transport combined. It is not issued, the license are not issued by the police or the Ministry of Justice. Okay. Now the LTM contract, annually 70% will go to LTM of the money they generate, and meager 70 go to LTM. A meager 30% go to the Liberian government. We are told that LTM will raise will spend $50 million, and did the Liberian government or the Department of Transport that believed to be generating $9 to $10 million from the driver's license thing, did they think through it before they give the contract to Justice Ministry? And for the length of the 25 years, we would have generated over $250 million by Transport Ministry alone. So I want to respond to that. Did we think through it? Are we not going to lose employees because of this? And what special thing are these people going to provide that the Ministry of Transport cannot provide? So please, I need answers to my questions.
My niece Fred, before you invited us to this program, you talked to the police spokesman, DCB Collins. And DCB Collins was straight and told you that those people who are appearing on the show today, DCB Fred Gay is strictly restricted to the public safety issues. As it relates to administrative issues with LTM and the government, I'm not in the capacity to respond to that. I responded strictly to public safety issues.
That's all we need.
Okay.
Whatever you can. Any question asked to you, DCP? If you can't answer, just pass.
What about the transport representative? That's the same guy, Otto. I don't see.
So, Chief, clearly.
Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
So we are anticipating all your public safety concerns. We are anticipating your public safety concerns. Bring your public safety concern and we address it. As it relates to administrative issues in the police, we are not clothed with our authority to respond.
That is acceptable. Mr. Newey, next question.
Well, maybe I need to.
There's the report in the chat room, in the panelist chat room, if you want to go over it. The report we dealt with.
Okay.
That
report I can make reference to it. It was a report.
Exactly.
Somebody spoke here about safety issue, and they gave I think that was Mr. Smith who posted a report from the safety department, police safety department, and this fellow who appeared was from an NGO. So when I asked him the question, he said he didn't know. And Mr. Smith said, well, you sent me the report from the police. So he posted a report. But the report seemed to be incomplete. I mean, like, for example, number of accident, how many passengers were injured, what was the breakdown of the passengers, how many motorbike operators were injured, and what was the breakdown, county by county. I mean, you did well, you'll give breakdown for every county, but the breakdown you give is insufficient. So I don't know if Mr. Wright, can show the report.
Which part of report you want me to show? Because it's a 13-page report.
Okay, the breakdown.
So you want to go to the county? Okay, I think that was number 4. All right, let me bring Inspector Dollar back.
Mr. Nippon is here.
So ask a question. Let me put while I'm pulling the report.
Okay. Why did you people overlook the breakdown? Number of operators involved, number of young people, passengers, old passengers, number of hit and run, and etc. number of women.
DCP, if you want me, I'll pull the report up so you can look at it, and then maybe I might give you a good understanding of what Mr. Nuba is referring to.
So before you put the report out, look, while it's true that we are providing statistic report is by law. Our law in Liberia, if we revise it, it will be a different issue. But the present law in this country says we should provide accident statistics on the number of accident cases that happen in the country. It did not go extensive. But we are going extensive because we want to put you in the know of what is occurring. So the report there, if there's any problem, we can handle that. But from January to March is quarter statistics. And in the same report, the report will tell you that we have 478 accident cases occurring from January to March. Out of that 478 accident cases that occurred, we have 71 deaths. And out of that 71 deaths, besides that, we have injuries, 307 injuries. So we just want to give you the alarming rate of the accident statistic personally occurring in Liberia. So the law in our country does not gaze off the obligation to go extensive as we are going presently.
Okay. Mr. Nuba, one more question, then we'll move on to the next panelist, please.
Well, let's move on to the next panelist.
Okay, Mr. Alex Wulu, any questions, sir? Mr. Wulu? Okay, Alex is not. I think we just got joined by Mr. Christopher J. Neepin. Okay, Alex, I see you coming in. Alex, are you with us? Alex. Neepin. Alex. Alex, we're not hearing you. Alex, we're not hearing you. No, we're not hearing you.
Well, since can I hear him? Let's move on to Mr. Nippet.
Yeah, let me see 1 second here. Okay, DCP is back when you dropped. Okay, good. So, Mr. Nippet, let's please introduce yourself, and then we'll give you the floor to ask your questions.
Well, thank you so much, fellow compatriots in the radio land, to the Deputy Police Director for Safety, Honorable Fred Gay, and Honorable Bamoyan Dolly, who is responsible for driver's education. My name has already been called. I am a former police officer. And I wear a number of caps. But suffice for me to say I am a former police officer. And I wore the blue uniform. Like this kind of cap that I have on my head. I want to welcome you in studio and thank you for accepting the invitation, because public safety, to all of us on this planet, we lay a premium on it. And we have 30 wise, since the lives of the people of Liberia are being protected by you, to come on this show and provide us some understanding of what your job entails and the challenges that you are faced because we think you are doing a good job. It could be better, and you could also do it to the best of your abilities. On that note, I want to say a big thank you for where you are in the discharge of your functions. I missed the fact that there are acute limitations that will have to bother you. There are acute limitations that will have to bother you the opportunity to do a good or better job. I know there are constraints that you are faced with, and unlike yesterday. So welcome to the program. I see a chat on the screen, and the chat speaks to the number of incidents that have occurred, but it did not. It's a 400 and something, as you just said. I'm not sure whether it was the Deputy Police Director, Honorable Fred Gay, or it was Honorable Famoyan Dolly, who for drivers education, who was giving that information. But every statistics which have figure have other components. And we were on the show the other day, and we had a gentleman who is working assiduously in conjunction with the Liberian National Police. And we thought it was prudent to call you here so as to jump in some why we think it is necessary for you or to upscale the information, though we understand you say according to the law. But the law cannot be saying one thing and then the actions are not cogent to what the law says or are not in complement to what the law says. So if you have 400 persons, the public would like to know of the 400 persons or the 400 accidents, how many trucks were involved? Were they all trucks? Were they all sedans? Were there 3 involved? Because you're talking about motor accident. Were there bicycles involved? You see, you have a death count. In quantifying the number of deaths, how did you arrive at that? And the only way you can arrive at that, in spite of what you have just told us, that according to the law, but the death don't happen only because it happens. It happens by on.
Mr. Nippin, DCP keep dropping on and off. I don't know what's going on. I just want to let you know that while you ask the question. But we still have
He will
Inspector.
come in, but the inspector is listening. The death doesn't occur in vacuum. It occurs by individuals. We like to know, the public like to know, accident A occurred in Grand Bassa County involving 10 vehicles. How many males were involved? There were children who want to know. Because you can't quantify 400 persons or 400 incidents. In the number of 400 incidents, there must be drivers. How many drivers were involved? How many passengers were involved? In the number of passengers, how many females were involved? How many males were involved? Children were involved. Mind you, the accident is abstracting. It is diluting. It is subtracting the number of human beings from the population. So if we have 5-point-something million persons and 400 accidents occur, there is a number in that quantity of accident which depletes a certain number of people from the population. And the public has a need to know. And that's what my colleague, Mr. George Nubo, was trying to say. We are not criticizing your information. We think you are on the better foot. a good footing, but we want to rein in some pieces of information, and so that you can do a better job. So how do you address that, and why you didn't quantify the number of persons that were involved in those 400 accidents?
Thank you. If I got you right, you applaud for this statistic and why we did not quantify it. And the reason we are doing this just because of our OSA training, but this is not captured in our law. The quantification of our accident statistic now is not mentioned in our law. What is mentioned in our law is to get the figure to the public. But on a good note, around the training we are getting, the training we are receiving around the world, it requires what we are saying. But besides that, our public affairs department of the Liberia National Police, headed by the DCP Collins, is posting these statistics in big and pieces. The statistic is not completed. Besides this one, you got another quantified one. I will tell you the male that were involved, female involved, the number of ages are all there. So this is just the first stuff that DCP Collins capture and place it on our page. But it's also coming in big and pieces. But we also quantify in another term. You get a mail. How many mails out of the 400 other cases that happen? It's 71 death. How many male die in the process? And how many female also die? It's in our statistics. It will be posted shortly.
And thank you so much. Thank you so much for your understanding. Will also, it makes sense for you while you are quantifying the number of individuals involved. For us to know, the public that is, to know whether it is by truck, the number of trucks involved, whether it is by only sedan, the taxis, private vehicle, or motorcycle. That comprehensive or composite figure elevates the understanding of the public as it relates to what had happened to the population. Because if you say the population is about 10% and 2 accidents happen, the picture we are presenting to you is that of the 10 persons of the population, the 2 accidents that happened, 5 persons died from one truck that had passengers in it going to Grand Gita, for instance, or going to Sano, for instance, or coming to Monrovia, for instance. So with the population, when the statistician now, the census come up the next time, those 5 persons will not be added to impress the international community that we still have 10 persons. Or it will not be, we have 10.5 persons, or we have 8 persons, or the case may be. So thank you so much that you have something in addition to what appears here, which is inaccurate. I mean, I take that word back, which does not give us a full picture. It does not give us a full picture for the good work that you are doing. Okay, I want to stop right there.
Thank you, Mr. Nippet. DCP, you want to respond to that, or you want to?
Yes. I just want to appreciate the brother. His input is correct. We also note it. And look, in Liberia, I think if I may be, I stand corrected. Accident statistics is our law provider. We present accident statistics quarterly. So your input, your concern towards the accident statistics can also improve the statistics. So we also note it down. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
So, Mr. Wulu, are you able to speak to us now?
Yes, I read it now.
Okay, good. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So my first question will go to the DCP, Mr. Gay. Mr. Gay, I want to know, in your own review, is the high rate of accident cause more, by poor road condition or by poor police enforcement. That's one to you. And to the inspector, I want to know if education is the key to safety. Why do so many lesson drivers still know the basic rule of the rule?
Thank you for that question. So, if I got you right about the accident that occurring, the causes of accident that occurring in Liberia, one, we have a city maximum speed limit. Operators, it generally just operator behavior. 95% or 99% of our accident cases occurring in Liberia is attributed to driver's behavior. That's what causes accident in this country. Because if you investigate accident cases, causes sometimes over speeding, causes improper overtaking, driving under the influence. So, but all the factors are linked to driver's behavior.
Okay, so can I answer your second question?
Education.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, if I can remember your question, has to do with why it's true that driver's lessons are flowed into our hands and accident is still happening, right? Is that the question?
Mr. Wulu.
Are you there? Can you repeat your question?
Alex, you mute yourself.
Yeah, his mic is probably going bad again. Let me see if I can unmute. I can't unmute him. He muted himself. I can't unmute him.
It's about driver. It's about driver education. I think that's what he was referring to.
Yeah, that's a question. You get it right. That's a question.
All right, there you go.
Mr. Right, you can help me to unmute me. I'm fighting her.
I try, but you won't mute.
Go ahead.
Okay. Like we were saying, driver education is the key to every driver's out there. Like my boss was saying initially, the driver lessons and vehicle registration have turned over to the National Police. Are you sure? You used to find people sitting home. Somebody will tell you, say, send me your pictures and send me your particular. I will provide you driver lessons. And the man will now be tested and evaluated. At the end of the day, those rules and regulations that are governing on the road that you're supposed to know, and those tests and evaluation that you're supposed to be given to. Do you know that test and evaluation also has to do with eyesight? Your eyesight, supposed to know the distance that you are covered, whether day or night. So our people that are responsible for the tests and evaluations, those are all of the requirements that they do. They check all of this to know whether you got steering control, whether you got good eyesight, whether you been a driver before, whether you just coming to a driving field. And those days it wasn't happening. You will see someone with driver lesson, the person stay into numerous accidents over and over. But the new procedure that is outgoing right now, trust me, there are people that even going for those tests, and the first time they were not successful, went back, police asked them to come for another day training or test, until maybe 2-3 times when the person is qualified, they take them. But you did not qualify somebody, you don't text and evaluate somebody, and the person got the letter in their possession. When they go on the road, they will still be involved in the accident. So that's the reason that we brought the driver education, so that we will be out there, talk to drivers, to know some rules and regulations, to protect ourselves and protect the occupant within the vehicle, and some actually even some of them that are there, they do not know some of the rules that have to do with curve, rules that have to do with distance, rules that have to do with overtaking, when to pass, where to overtake. Those all of the requirements are the one that we try to bring out right now. So we will be out there talking on a talk show, going to a school, going to industry to see how best we can, because those things never used to happen before. And trust me, when all the procedures are in place, accident will be eliminated a little bit.
I'd like to interject right there. I'd like to interject right there, please.
Mr. Nippet.
I'd like to interject.
Mr. Nippet,
I want to buttress my inspector.
Okay, please.
So this is why it was very important to transfer this driver license to the police. So we are almost like reinventing the wheel. We have gone back so many years. People got introduced to the driving public that were not qualified, thereby creating or having accidents. So since the driving license has come back to the police have gone back to the traffic law and look at the procedures, the standards that the law set before becoming a driver, and now we are following the steps and standards up to the letter, so that in few times to come, when these things have been completely controlled, we will have reduction in accident and fatalities. But now you get to know that this driver license was not in the possession of the police. You have another person doing the license. They did not observe the standards set by law, and the standards set by law now being followed up to the teeth. That's the budget.
I was coming in there first. I was coming in there, Mr. Noble. Please let me come in.
Mr. Nippet, 1 second, please. 1 second. Alex still has the floor. Alex, are you done? Okay. Mr. Nippet, your question, sir.
In my introduction, I told you I am a former police officer. I am a former police officer, unlike what we see going on now. But I credit the police because I wore the blue uniform. I wore that for several years, and then I transitioned into other areas. Your point that it was not happening. Training of drivers was not happening. I tend to refute that because what I know, drivers were being trained. And the exercise which you just retook from the Ministry of Transport, that is good. But I refute the fact that drivers were not trained. Drivers were trained. Drivers were trained consecutively from Mr. E. Luzon Hammer, who was very, very strict. If you read the hierarchy of the Liberian National Police, from Mr. King. If you read the history, you know how the police was formed. And to sit on this set where you have a very polished former police officer, and you say these things were not happening, it's just, I think it's a slip of tongue. While we want to applaud you for what you are doing, it's a serious slip of tongue.
Can we ask the DCP what he mean? Is he going as far back as what you referring to?
No, I want to give you.
Ask the DCP.
I want to give you meat for you to chew on.
Okay.
It's very
DCP,
unfortunate, and I think. Before the DCP come on.
Are you done, Mr.
No.
Okay, finish.
It's very unfortunate. Drivers were trained. Both when the Libyan holding building was not erected, driver was trained right opposite the city hall, and then at the Liberian National Police Academy, the nomenclature, the official nomenclature that they had. Not only that, to minimize the incidents of drivers, there was special driver education that were conducted.
Wade Walker.
Drivers were being educated. And then not only that, some boards, which are now, we hardly see in the street, just as in the United States and other Western countries, signboards, school zones signs, highway signs, get into the curve, double curve, slippery roads, and all those signs were printed. I try to back you up because I know there are constraints. You want to do all of those things. You have the heart to do it. The director of police, which is called commissioner now, has the heart to do it. But to say in the past, it didn't happen, then that's unfortunate. And we will not want to discredit the Liberian National Police Force because there are certain things that we see that does not.
All right, I think I let the DCP come in, Mr. Nippon.
So, no, I just wanted to correct that point. The DCP can come in.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So Fred, thank you for bringing the DCP back to clarify that. The old man who was speaking, he's speaking in the context of a police. No, we're not talking about police. One minute. We're not discouraging the old police. Look, when Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf took power in Liberia, she served for 12 years. In that 12 years, the driver licenses were taken from the police and transferred to Ministry of Transport. It is that period we are discussing. It is that period we are discussing. Now, George Weah came to power for another 6 years. Ministry of Transport was still dealing with issuance of driver licenses. Now, Honorable Joseph Boakai came to power. This is his 3rd year. And in this 3rd year is the time that the driver licenses came back to the police. So we're not discussing his time of being a policeman. No, that's not a discussion. His time of being a policeman, police were issuing driver licenses. But we're talking about the time when driver licenses were taken from the police and given to the Ministry of Transport. There were no set procedure or protocol or standards by the law for one to obtain a driver license in this country.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, DCP. Mr. Nippon, if I come back to you. All right, I will come back to you, Mr. We'll come to you, Mr. Nugo. But let's let Claudia to introduce herself, and then we'll come back to you guys.
Thank
Claudia?
you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here tonight, and I hope everyone is having a good night as well. Sorry for my late coming in and my absence for the past couple of weeks.
Welcome, Claudia.
So, and I'm excited to have Mr. Officer Fred Gay and also Officer Dolly. These are 2 officers I have personally worked with. They probably don't remember me because I'm always in the background, but there's a lot of questions that I have, and I'm so excited to have you here. At least I can get those questions out and get an understanding of why this is happening and why so many people are dying from road accidents. People, it's especially celebrities, for that matter. So I'm happy to be here tonight.
All righty. I'm going to use your name, Mr. Nippon, just call you. Welcome to the show, Claudia. It's been a while. It's true, but we're good to have you. Good to have you back here, as usual. So, gentlemen, we have a full platform. So let's make the questions short. And to the guests, Mr. Gay and Mr. Dolly, if they can give a short explanation so we can be able to go around the table. Y'all get more questions. Would appreciate that. So let's go to Mr. Nubo so he can tell us why he begged to differ, and then we're going to come back to Claudia and ask a question. Then we'll go around until we again from the veterans. We'll go around like that.
I beg to differ because I brought in the driver license issuance issue at Transport Ministry. And if the transfer was justified and Honorable Gay or Officer Gay said that he was instructed for them not to discuss the transfer issue. But he is now discussing the transfer of the issuance of driver's license from the Transport Ministry to the police or Ministry of Defense. And actually, it's not a transfer. They subcontracted it to some group they call LTM that will cost the Liberian government millions of dollars that they should have realized, and hundreds of job losses. And he said he was instructed not to comment on it, but then he come back on it. So why is he, I don't want to say dangling, why is he going back and forth?
DCB, you want to take it?
Look, it's just clear. I'm not dangling. The premise I laid connected the transfer. I was not discussing the transfer. I laid the premise that led to the transfer, not the transfer itself. I told you that, but our vehicle and traffic law in this country, like was enacted in 1956 and revised in 1972, gave the authority to the Ministry of Justice to issue driver license, not Ministry of Transport. I'm speaking the law. I'm not speaking the sentiment. I'm not speaking other issue. I just laid the basis that the issuance of driver licenses is strictly Ministry of Justice business. But since it happened that time, it had not been officially transferred back to Ministry of Justice. Ministry of Justice just outsourced that responsibility to another company. So that I'm not discussing the administrative issues that surround the transfer, but we're just laying the basis for that.
Okay. Here's what we're going to do, gentlemen. I don't want to go to Claudia now because she got other questions to ask because we got 4 minutes to go to the line. So let's go to the line early. Then we'll have time to come back, and then we'll begin with Claudia, and then we'll go around the table again. So let's do that, please. Alex, please take us to the line and get a few calls for us. At this time, gentlemen, we're all going to mute.
When the issues get hot, when the debates get...
Yes, folks, and of course, that's it here this evening on Top 105.3. And let me say good evening to every one of you. Those of you just joining us, I'd like to welcome you here to Top 105.3. Before the show that bet to differ is about time to go to the phone lines and hear from you here this wonderful evening hour. So number to put it through at 0776105105 881-143504 0776105105 881-143504. And the number to put it through are going to be live here this evening. We'll go to the line and pick up with the car too quickly. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, cheers. Welcome to the show.
Into treasure. Happy into thank you with it. We got two questions. There are many, but we two. The first question, as we all know, you also 100% come first, and policing is part of our public safety. Come again?
Please do me a favor, drop a line you call by, let's see, because you coming in broker out. I want people to get a question clear. All right, you can call back. 776-105-105, 881-14-3504. 0776-105-105, 881-14-3504. Welcome back.
So are we live? Are they getting us now?
Yes, it's okay.
Thank you. We said good evening to you and the listening audience. Good evening to all of our professors. Welcome into the evening class and a happy, prosperous new month of May. Good evening to our studio guests as well. We got so many questions, but we will be able to ask just two.
Okay.
The first one, as we all may be aware that policing is all about public safety. Now, what actually is the whole of the police being in power in terms of manpower, especially to the traffic divisions of the Liberia National Police in the rural counties, as well as the decentralization of licensing in the counties by the Liberia National Police? Second question, what also is the hold on up to present that our police, especially in the rural counties, are now fully equipped when it comes to mobility? Because 3 motorbikes, 2 motorbikes that you just distributed, we commend you for that. But we thought that mobility, especially pickups, are so much essential to policing to ease the operation at all times. What are you doing about that, sir? Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you too for being part of the show. Keep listening and don't you go away. Of course, you can do the same. 776-105-105, 881-14-3504. 0776-105-105, 881-14-3504. And let's hear from you here this wonderful, wonderful evening hour on top 105.3. Why you forget about again?
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I did not call my name. My name is retired Captain Emmanuel S. Doe. I just want our guests to know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. 776-105-105, 881-14-3504. 0776-105-105, 881-14-3504. Let's hear from you this wonderful, wonderful evening hour on the show. I beg to differ. 776-105-105, 881-14-3504. You will be live here this evening. Let's take our team some and keep it rolling as we await your calls to come in. 0776-105-105, 881-14-3504. 776-105-105, 881-14-3504. The number support you through here this evening. They're going to be live on the show. I beg to differ. Let's hear from you. 776-105-105, 881-14-3504. You listen this evening to the Inspector of Police and DCP. You listen to all of them here explain why the issues here when it comes to road accident, the education aspect. Yeah, what I say that you want to know about, or maybe you want to ask, or their questions like the panelists have been asking here. Maybe you want to add on the panelists to ask few questions to understand certain thing, right? This is about time that you can call here on the show and be part of it. 776-105-105, 881-14-3504. 0776-105-105, 881-14-3504. You will be part of the show here.
My people, time, Top FM 105, 3 we on the air. Leader shout, Sheku Koroma. Run ready, hit the play. Alex D, we're right there.
my people. Oh. If you're not correct, we go talk am so. From 9 o'clock to 12 midnight, we sitting here, we ready to fight. No palaver, no fear inside. True talk, we not go high. Call Mr. George Nubo, bring that stand.
Alex.
Yeah, bro.
We have a full lineup here. Just now, when you get a call, let us know. We'll break in.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank Budikatu for placing the call. DCP, you want to answer Budikatu's question? One second, DCP. You gotta start all over. I think I'll mute you, and I gotta.
So we will encourage that we will talk to our Cody. We got another Deputy Commissioner of Police for Administration who will address deployment and decentralization of the police. So we are strictly here to discuss public. So we will also like for you to invite the Deputy Commissioner of Police for Administration. We want to address all these issues.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So thank you for answering the question. That go to Claudia now. Claudia, your questions, please.
Okay, thank you. Yes, the rate of accidents is alarming, considering it's been such a very short period. And there's two really like important questions that I want to ask both of you in terms of. Can you hear me? Is everything okay?
We can hear you.
Okay, great. So my first question to you is this. We know that it's kind of alarming to know that there's hit and runs, especially so many amount from tricycle to pedestrian, car to pedestrian. And I also know that there are checkpoints all around Liberia where police go, especially main junctions where there's a lot of traffic flow. But their attention is never on the pedestrians because they're always focused on how to get small things. My man, park your car, you parking on no zone, no park zone. They're so focused on the revenues of what they can gain than focusing on the pedestrians. My question to you is this. When are you, the police, going to start to focus on the pedestrians? Because I know your title as a traffic officer doesn't precisely mean just the vehicle handler, but it also means pedestrians because that's all part of the road safety, triangle. So I just want to know from you, when and how will you begin to sanitize and aware people, especially those standing at the junction waiting for car? I never see you interacting with we who are standing right in front of you to say, oh, please dress back. You don't stand that close to the road. Hey, that's not part of the sidewalk. So that's my first question for now.
So, as you may be aware, there was this video training on social media concerning pedestrian rights and duties. It was also surrounding this DCP. We are also engaged with the education of pedestrians how to cross the road safely. There are laws. The laws also concern pedestrians. We have in the law we call the rights and duties of the pedestrian. While it's true that you got your right to the road, you also got duties. So we are being sensitizing pedestrians on their duties on the road. They are also road users, but they are the vulnerable road users. They have to use the road properly. Most of the time, you see pedestrians use the road improperly. So some of these things causes accident. But we are also engaged with pedestrian sensitization. Okay,
for me, I feel that's not enough because with every government that comes in power, they'll be like, hey, for example, don't throw dirt. Another government comes, they'll be like, hey, throw dirt, we'll come pick it up. Sanitizing is just something that Liberians are getting so comfortable with. Just announce who has data these days to watch that training. Even if they're watching it safe, they'll just say, the thing here, let me turn and go to the next funny video. So I don't feel that awareness is going far outreach like it should. What I'm asking is, what are you going to do? All of the car road, like the Liberian man said, car road, the streets, doesn't have a single mark anywhere to say, okay, this is where pedestrian stops and this is where cars start. When, for example, convoys are coming, there's no policeman stretched across the roads to keep pedestrians from getting on the main road, because we don't have a road. We literally walk in the street. I walk in the street, so I know what I'm talking about. I jaywalk. If this was America, I'd be arrested every minute, because we're literally jaywalking and it's okay for you guys. So apart from the sanitizing and just announcing it and doing trainings that's not physical, because we need action, because that speaks louder than words. What else do you think you could do? Because pedestrians are a lot of the reasons why car accidents are happening. Trying to avoid someone from hitting them, you swerve and hit somebody else that's on the car road, another car, stuff like that. And I feel like the pedestrian is a really major factor in accidents, but it's not being put in the statistics. It's just like car to bike. If a car is coming with heavy speed, got 6 pedestrians in the car, everybody's shouting at the driver, slow down, don't be driving fast. Driver gets distracted already. Pedestrian too, trying to stop him to get in the car. He's looking there, he's not looking. So I feel like there's more that needs to be done with that. My second question to you is this. I feel a bit disenchanted because I can remember before the Ebola time, there was this big ceremony. Police came out, they were like, oh, we're collaborating with Vasco. We're doing all these things because he's the activist of road safety. He's fighting the cause. He's doing all these things. And then Vasco went to America, he vanished. The whole dream and aspect and aspirations of what we thought the road safety was going to be about died down. Proposals, I used to bring proposals to Mr. Gay, Officer Gay's office. Of course, I never met him there, but I used to meet John Saw and a few other people. I used to report accidents that would happen, but it's almost like we see you out here, but there's no connectivity. There's no, there's no systematic control within the department. Everybody got their area. Look, I control Junction. I don't see no other policeman there because that's your hustle zone. Other police officers have their hustle zone. So therefore, you guys I feel like you're not relating with one another. What is happening with this road safety program that the police launched along with Vasco? And where is Vasco? And who's leading now in the road safety development? And who do you want to help you? And what help do you need? That's what I really want to know from you.
Okay, thank you. So your first question about pedestrian, the road safety is not 100% dependent on police. We got road infrastructure. Road infrastructure must be in place where you can have a space for pedestrian walkway. That road infrastructure strictly depends on another ministry in the government called the Ministry of Public Works. They deal with road infrastructure. They design roads and allocate space for bus stop, pedestrian walkway, crosswalk, and all of that. So it's not in the purview of the police on that note. So when it comes to the road safety, personally, we have a road safety secretary in Liberia that is seated in the Ministry of Transport. That road safety secretary comprises 5 different ministries. You got the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Justice, represented by the Liberian National Police. You got the Ministry of Transport itself. You got Ministry of Public Works. You got Ministry of Education. So all these ministries have a representation at the road safety secretary. So road safety secretary in Liberia is the lead when it comes to road safety in Liberia.
All right, Claudia, you got any more question?
Yes, and that's exactly my point right there. You leave the public works to be responsible, to be putting soundboard and all around this and that. What if you know it's really needed, like 540? 540 is one of the busiest junctions, but you hardly ever hear about accidents happening there because you all work in union. I see public works, I see police, I see pedestrians acting like they're assistants to the police. Everyone is working together. If you know that particular places are having a lot of road accidents and injuries and deaths, and you know public work has not done anything to put safety along that premises, why doesn't the police put a report together and say, look, let's get the public works, be like, look, bossy, this is going on in this particular premises, and we need you guys to come and put a stop sign or something down there, because that area there, plenty of people can die. Look at Cardwell. There is a ditch that's been there for the past 20 years. It even took the life of one of the biggest doctors at Redemption Hospital, his son, who was just like 19. And that ditch even caused one of your officers who's sitting right now, he's like literally disabled in Cardwell, Muluba, that hasn't ever even had help towards his disability and his injuries. But that ditch is still there. They fixed the road, that ditch is there. Something is causing that ditch not to move. Right after you cross Cardwell Bridge, just like about a block away, that ditch, it can't vanish. So why aren't you guys working along with public works? Because a lot of road accidents are happening because of ditches and funny, bad conditions of certain curves and, stuff like that. So that's my point I'm making. I think that you guys should start to put heads together, because police can't do it alone. But I know a lot of pedestrians, drivers, a lot of people feel like they don't have to listen to the police. Okay, so long I even do right there, you will still arrest my keke. You go to every zone right now, you have so many motorbikes parking there. They've been there over 100 years. The drivers can't get it back. Keke's parking, they can't get it back. When you ask, they say, oh, because I was parking too long. Did you hit anyone? No. But people who are hitting people, they pay 100 US, whatever amount, they get out of that problem. So I just want to know and hope that you guys can work together, really, because this is something collective. You can't say Ministry of Education, and I'm not seeing people out here sanitizing with projectors every junction, showing people the rights and the wrongs of road safety.
So it's good. It's good that you raised the concern. The Liberia National Police is working with every relevant institution, like Public Works. Public Works have their own side of the story. So if you ask Public Works why we have this year, and you're not rehabilitating the road, they will also provide their points why these roads are not rehabilitated. But when it comes to accident and the road, everywhere in Liberia, we classify it per speed zones. Car where is a residential area, and that residential area, the maximum speed limit there is 35 miles per hour. So look, my sister, if actually you are driving 35 miles per hour and there's a ditch, will you drive in that ditch, or will you have an accident in that ditch that will paralyze your legs? The answer is no. If you are driving 35 miles per hour in the bar zone, you will avoid ditches. But over speeding will cause you to lose your legs. So once you drive in accordance with the speed zone by law in this country, you will avoid accident. I'm not backing Public Works. Why maybe they did not face the ditch, but while the ditch is there, drive at the required speed and the zone you are operating within.
Okay. Now, I don't want us to personalize that particular place as saying that it's because of that, but A car even went over the bridge and into the water, and a young lady lost her life. That particular place right there is like a death zone. It's too small. You visit Zeb, it's still too small. So I feel like police should be able to put themselves in that place, especially in the morning hours, in the evening, to make sure that people are safe. My second question you did not answer, Vasco. Where is Vasco? And where is that big dream that the police had during that? I think it was in 2013, if I'm not mistaken, 2012 or something like that. And I just want to know what's going on with that. Is that still happening? Is it still active?
The police is still living within the vision of the public safety. Unfortunately, probably that time you were talking about, I was not placed in this position. And I can't speak further to that. But what I can show that police is still within the vision of public safety.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Claudia. Before I go to Veteran Smith and begin the whole question over again, I want to really thank you, DCPK. You're ready, making the way you answer the question. We'll be able to go around, everybody and come again to answer, to question you more. That's what I mean. My one question I want to ask you: I see a lot of incidents in the street. And maybe this is on an operation, but I think safety is involved, so I have to ask it as well. Why is it that police, when they get into altercation, into fight, with say sometimes with the drivers, you want to find one police there on the scene, and this is when the police get whipped. They get a flock. They get flock. They tear the police clothes. I mean, they treat the police like ordinary citizens. And, I'm here in America, and I'm watching that video. I'm like, man, the police in Liberia got to be lucky. Because here, you put your hand on the police one time, they lay you down. You know what I mean? But we're not asking for that. What I want to ask you is, why is it you leave your officer so vulnerable in the street? The guy is responding to an incident, and then the drivers or the pedestrian gets very violent, towards him or her, but he's by himself. And I don't see any backup coming there to aid in the process. So you guys what are you guys doing in the process? I mean, can you talk to us about the number of incidents along this line, police brutality against police being flocked in the street? How bad is the incident? And how are you guys handling this? That's my only question. Thank you, sir.
I think I can start your question by figure out the recent action that police took. I think it was on the social media. A lady in St. Paul assaulted a police officer, and that lady was formally charged and sent to court. So what we need to realize on this discussion is, how many persons are living in Liberia? How many persons do we have here? Little over 5 million. How many police officers do we have in Liberia? A little over 5,000. Can it commensurate with the population? The answer is no. So you have a lot of challenges. Police officer, normally the police organization come for backup. This is why some of these people are arrested. I don't know whether people followed the assault on police. Yeah, the policeman will be assaulted, but there's a backup and people are arrested and follow the court. But the issue is, nobody cares. What is the story with the policeman? The policeman was assaulted by a citizen. How the case ended, we don't follow it. But the actuality is, people are arrested and follow the court for assaulting a peaceful officer.
Okay, but are you guys, again, I got to follow, I'm sorry, Fred, but are you guys making that known? Because you got to deter people, right? You got to let people know. I mean, that's just your job. The cost got to be more than the action. If you put your hand on an officer, you got to know that the cost for doing that, it will be heavy on you. So when the citizens see that, DCP, before they even go into that kind of action, they would think again, oh my God, if I put my hand on the police officer, that's trouble for me. Maybe I'm getting 3 months jail term. Or they'll charge me some kind of $500 out if I get out of jail. These kind of incidents, are you guys letting the citizenry know that?
Yes, I mean the citizens know that. Police, the citizen assault to police or assault on police it go virus. And then when the case go to court, it's in the newspaper, it's on the radio, it's in the social media. The public get to know that John Brown that assaulted the police have been forwarded to court. Action has been taken. So that's some of them lend themselves to South Beach.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Veteran Smith, your 2 questions, please.
Yes, I just want to, when asking my question, I want to focus on the quarterly report because I have focused in
What
going
page are you
over.
on?
Oh, I just want to first. I want the director, commissioner, DCP to first look at the 3 charts because if we look at one, we're all here going over all 3. People will ask questions and say this is not provided, and whoever did it, I think they did a great job. I know I would differ with some of my colleagues who say it didn't do a great job, but I went over the chart and they get different tables. They have table 4 that deals with monthly accident cases, January, February, March. Then you have table 7 that deal with casualty profile, there with operator, pedestrian, occupant, and they deal with the injuries, the death. And then the last chart, which is table 6, which mostly deal with the southeastern region, accident, victim profile, and casualty case disposition. And it went by Maserado, Nima, River G, Bomb, and the focus case, death, injuries, sent to court, withdrawn, and penny. I just want you to I know you had time to look at all of these different charts. I know time will not permit us to go through each of the charts or the table to look over it. Can you give a clearer view what you presented quarterly for our public to get a grasp of it when they have privilege to look over it? They will appreciate the work you all did. That's my first question.
So the clarity is that besides the number we provided and the death and injury, including property damage, we went in depth. For an example, bicycle to bicycle case is explained. Bicycle to car to pedestrian, tricycle to pedestrian, motorcycle to pedestrian. These are all explained. It's expressive. So when you go through the chart, you will see it clearly. How many car to pedestrian accidents occurred? How many car to car accidents occurred? How many motorcycle to tricycle accidents occur? How many tricycle to pedestrian occur? These are all labeled. It's explicit. It's just that we did not provide, we did not post the narrative. Besides that statistic is accompanied by a narrative that explains the statistic.
Thank you. My last question have to do, and I like where you stated, if I'm wrong, you can tell me. You're saying not responding to other questions because Sam Collins and the director of police will come and talk about the other one. You focusing mainly on safety issue. And what you were able to do is when you took the driving portion from transport under your supervision, that's where you're focusing on. You're not criticizing police of the past where they did. You only focusing when it was under the transport and the other government that came after. That's where you focusing on. Can you explain much more so our public can understand what are you talking about?
So thank you. What I'm talking about is a period where former President Ellen Johnson came to power, and then she used executive order to transfer the issuance of driver licenses and vehicle registration to the Ministry of Transport. And then it had been there until then, and it was again now transfer. Beside the transfer, the law, I'm speaking about the law. The law in this country, the vehicle and traffic law, says strictly about the issuance of driver license and the registration of vehicle is strictly the prerogative of the Ministry of Justice. It is the Ministry of Justice that does that job. So it is the Ministry of Justice that have also their responsibility to traffic management. So when it was out of the police, those legal formula were not looked at properly. That is my concern as a head of public safety. Those regulations, those factors in the law for someone to obtain a driver license were not properly looked at during the time it was out of the police. Now it is back to the police. We are exhausting all the legal aspects of that. We're not leaving no stone unturned.
Thank you, DCP. Mr. Nuba?
The number is here. I feel that Honorable Gay is not being right with the Liberian people. He talking about transferring, there's something called best management practice in environmental engineering. And I told him from the get-go that Pennsylvania Department of Transportation or New Jersey Department of Transportation, they deal with the issuance of driver's licensing. In our culture, they say you don't travel, you think your mother is the best cook. Ellen Johnson said, travel. I want to praise her for the last time. And she brought that to Liberia. And some kind of mango came during weird time. And that's why we had this, I know, LTM or LT something in Liberia. Okay. I don't know if Colonel or Honorable Fred Gay can tell me, how many licensed drivers and licensed motorcyclists in Liberia today. And for the quarterly report now, how many violation tickets the police have issued in the first quarter. So I want, in my first question, I want answers to those before I move on.
So thank you. The issue is Fergie is not making up his own story, And the issue I'm pushing here is the Lord. The police enforce laws. They do not enforce their own stuff. We enforce law in this country. And the law in this country, we are not living where you are living. I understand you are pushing the story. When you are not traveling, you think that your mother is the best cook. No. But when laws are not reversed, when laws are enacted and are not reversed, that law is in effect until it can be reversed. So our law in this country called Liberia, says the Ministry of Justice is the one responsible for the issuance of driver licenses and vehicle registration. Until you can come back to Liberia and form part. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Mr. Nubo, allow the guest to answer. You
Can you give me a chance?
Okay.
If you can also be if you can be part of the revision of the law that will give that responsibility to an entity, it will be clear. But for now, that law is still in effect. It is Ministry of Justice that issue driver license. It is Ministry of Justice that issue vehicle registration in Liberia as currently as our law says.
Okay.
So as it relates to executive order, executive order lasts for a year. But do you know how many years that executive order was in effect until now, before it came back to Ministry of Justice?
Okay, you want me to respond, right? The law was in effect when you people mango and give it the opportunity to LTM. That is mango, you're dead. And part two of my question, I ask you how many licensed drivers we have in Liberia and how many licensed motorcyclists we have in Liberia. Please tell me. That deal with safety.
How can I tell you when the issuance of driver licenses was not in the purview of the police?
So you are not working with transport ministry, or you are part of the mango that give the entity to LTM.
You have to be cognizant. You have 1 minute. You have to be cognizant. You have to.
Okay, tell me how many. Okay, the last one. Tell me how many.
No. Not the last. Let end the mango.
This one.
Let's end the mango. You have to be cognizant of the fact that if you level false allegation, legally you can be in contempt of that. You know that?
Okay, I mean, hold me in contempt. I'm George Numo. My name is George Numo. I can say in my phone.
DCP.
That's mango. That's a mango issue. But tell me how many licensed drivers we have in Liberia, how many licensed motorcyclists we have in Liberia. That's safety issue. It's not dealing with the mango
so
doing in our country.
The data was not shared with us. The data that would speak to that was not shared with the police.
Why? I, George Numo, I will have a license driving and hit somebody and I ran away. And you check your data, they say George Numo not there. On the 18th of April, my relative was buried because in 2023, that relative was hit by a motorcyclist, broke the legs twice, and fractured the skull. And you don't have record on that. And you don't issue tickets I was asking you how many tickets the police department issue this going quarter here. You cannot name it because policemen will come to you. No. Let me learn. Because policemen will come to you, say, if you don't see me, I will give you a ticket. Somebody broke my car door. Ellen Johnson selling time. Spoiled my car door. My friend was using my vehicle. And I took the vehicle to the shop. And they took the engine out of the vehicle. I went to the police station. And the police station was telling me, oh, the man, he ain't got this, he ain't got that. Somebody hit my vehicle also at ELW Junction. Police people started begging me. And when I left, when I was leaving, they were dealing with the driver. What you have for us? So I mean, that's what you do. So that's why I'm asking you, how many tickets? Let's go further. How many tickets the police department has issued?
All right, a lot of DCP to answer.
Okay, Chief. Because of his concern, we will post the quarter ticket issued. What we just posted is accident statistic. It doesn't mean that we do not have ticket issue. So we'll post the ticket issue for the quarter. We'll post the ticket so you can see how many tickets we have issued for January to March.
So that means DCP will get you back in next
what
week,
about
right?
the Mango report?
We report that. We become Mango report.
The ticket everything in the Mango report. The ticket was sure. What are the Mango you're not?
Yeah. So when you see the ticket report, before that, the next show, he will be one of those who will be commending the police because of the report from the ticketing unit.
There you go. All right, Mr. Let me hold you right there, sir. Let me hold you right there.
Okay.
Let's go to Mr. Nippe. Mr. Nippe, your question, sir. 2 questions.
I have patiently, because we're doing a program here and public eyes are on us. They are also listening, so I always like to be patient until I'm chimed in. I want to say thank you to Mr. Gay, to Connor Gay, for bringing to our attention some pertinent information relating to his defeation. The whole thing has to do with public safety. Public safety is under his direct supervision. My first question will be, what are your strengths and what are the weaknesses that you have in your on your supervisory role?
So my strength is pursuing my vision. That's my biggest strength. Pursuing my vision, implementing strategies that are being set forth. My greatest weakness is working with my peers. Working with my peers is my greatest weakness in my job, which I'm working on. Because personally, right now, all those people that I'm working with are all my peers, and we all got in a row together, and we all came to police together, and I have been selected among them to serve as the head. So my greatest weakness is working with my peers.
I thought that would be your strength, because if you're working in conjunction with your peers, that will be a strength. But since you qualify that as a weakness, how do you correlate that with what you're supposed to be doing when Claudia asks you about the crosswalk and pedestrian safety in conjunction with the Ministry of Public Works?
So the training video in recent time was was concerning this senior chief of public safety you're talking to. The reason why I have not started the enforcement of pedestrian is because we stay with you on public works to do their part of the job, erecting crosswalk, placing signs and signal along our road. But actually, it's a violation in our law. If a pedestrian do not cross in the crosswalk, is a violation. It's punishable by fine. So we can only enforce that when we have these strategies on our roads and crosswalk on our roads, and they are educated to that. Then we can start the enforcement of that law.
I would qualify that as a weakness, a serious weakness, because
we the part of the police.
Just give me a chance. When the choir sings, you can understand the song by the tune that they bring. So I like you to be very understanding. That is a weakness on your part. And why do I say so? Public safety and public works, they are two different institutions. One is to fix road and public properties, or what they call them public works, the works of the public.
Right.
Public safety inculcates the drivers, the safety of the people, which include the pedestrian, protecting lives and property. That's where you are. And to understand you that you will wait for 10 years, that is the inference of your language, sir. In 10 years, if the public works does not put the crosswalk in, you will not be concerned. And that tells me also that you are not concerned, which is also a weakness, about traffic sign, because Claudie asked a question. And you say if you're going and you're driving 30 miles per hour, since it's a residential area, 30 miles per hour will be too much for somebody to be driving, especially so when you don't have a signboard. And you, as the director for public safety, the deputy director for public safety is on this set saying that even if you drive at 5 miles per hour, you will not be able to jump in a hole. But the converse is not true, because you do not have a signboard there to pre-warn.
He said 35 miles per hour in a residential area.
Yeah, I come in.
No. Yes.
I come in, Mr. Nubo. People are listening to us. Let me put my question through to the chief.
Thank you. Because my skin is itching.
And what is causing this problem? You do not have traffic sign. If I understood you right, all of those things are in tandem with public safety. And so what I understand is that unless the Ministry of Public Works prints the signs, the police has no way of doing its job. Unless the public work marks the pedestrian crosswalk and creates meridian along the line where the car is supposed to get off and all that kind of stuff, police will not do a work. And so I call that a weakness. Is there any way that you could collaborate with the Ministry of Public Works to solve that problem? Or what are you doing to solve that problem?
So thank you, sir. So it will be an opportunity for me, for all of us, when we invite Ministry of Public Works on this show to provide their strength and weaknesses, because the enforcement of laws lies with these things I just outlined. How can you enforce a pedestrian crosswalk when there is no crosswalk on the road? You
I'm
can
sorry.
only enforce the
I'm sorry,
pedestrian
sir. I'm sorry. You didn't understand the question. I am sorry. Let me. I want to help you. You're speaking to a former police officer. You are speaking to a former.
What was your rank? What was your rank in the police?
Check my rank. But you got my name already, Christopher J. Nippy.
No, you just have to tell me. Personally, I'm the Deputy Commissioner of Police. What was your rank when you were in police?
Go and investigate. Go and ascertain. Go and do your research. You don't put, if I were a witness, you now ask me to plead against myself. You know that very well, don't you?
No, you just introducing yourself.
I have introduced myself. I told you I am a former police officer. I told you that.
I was a former police officer, a retired colonel, a retired captain.
Oh no. I'm not going to drill into that. My presentation should tell you, say I'm not ordinary person. So that should be what you should cap into. But let's go back to what I'm trying to let you know about. The police has a serious responsibility when it comes to public safety. And what I hear you say is that your legs are being tied by the Ministry of Public Works because they have not erected. That's the trend of a question was leading to that your legs are being tied. You cannot approach the Ministry of Public Works and say, listen, you are in violation of our duties. You have now put the role. Because I know during our time, when those things were being done, it was either the police that did it in conjunction with the Ministry of Public Works. LEC.
Honorable Nepe, maybe he came late. He said he came with instruction.
Well, this is under the purview of him. I'm coming. Don't interject. Don't interject. Don't. No. Mr. Nubo, people are listening to us. People are listening.
Mr. Nubo, please allow Mr. Nippy to
Mr. Nubo, bear patient. The public, we are not talking to Liberian people. We are talking to the world.
Go ahead, Mr. Nubo, Mr. Nippy, sir.
Okay. When traffic signs were being put up, I mentioned Director E. Luzonhammer. I mentioned E. Harding Smythe. I mentioned Thomas Bonard. I mentioned and others. Let me just put it there, and others. They work in conjunction, in tandem with Public Works and the Liberia Electricity Corporation. They work in conjunction with those people. And I see you not going that way because you are waiting. You are waiting for Public Works to do these things, for LEC to do these things before you can do your part. But your role is complementary, or their role is complementary, or their role enhances your ability to executing the function of that office that you are occupying. And that is a weakness. That is a weakness, and I will encourage you to exercise the understanding necessary so that you can drive home those things and correct them. That would be the first thing, because the question was not satisfactory answer. The second thing is that you do not have, I think it was Willie Kato, who said you have 1 or 2 motorbikes in Grand Jita. I think specifically that what he was saying. But what you have to operationalize to make the police effective. You have certain tools you have to work with. What is your strength? What are your weaknesses in operationalizing your presence in the leeward areas?
Oh, just by that answer, personally, I am in Sanikole, Nimba County. performing my task, not just in Monrovia. I came here this evening, and I'm spending the night. I'm spending 2 nights here in San Nicolas, performing my duty. So that is to tell you that I'm not just a Monrovia-based officer, but let me just turn to Ministry of Public Works. Personally, I'm having a unit in the publicity division called the Technical Services. The Technical Services unit in the public safety are coordinating or collaborating with Public Works on a daily basis so that the job, we are running the one government, so the job can go on. But this is why it is important to also invite Ministry of Transport on this show, Ministry of Public Works on this show. They will tell you what is the issues. Their issues is different from ours. So they will give you the explanation of why these things are happening. But it's not that our offices are not coordinating or cooperating with Ministry of Public Works. We are coordinating and cooperating with Public Works, but they also have their shortcomings, as we have.
Konake, my dear Konake. The reason why Claudie, the lady preceding my questions, asked those questions because she has found out she's in Monrovia perhaps and seeing those things. I am just raising it, flagging them out so that you have a fair sense of appreciation with a view of correcting them if you are not. You one-man operation, I say operationalizing the Leeward area, the counties. What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? What prevents you? What is the thing that you are doing there? And what is the thing that are hampering you from doing those things? That's what I mean by your strengths and your weaknesses. In the Leeward area, the counties. I'm not talking that you are a Monrovia, as you said. The context of that language is that, oh no, I don't want to sit in Monrovia and right now in San Nicolas or Nimba County. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about the organization's presence in the Leeward counties. That's what I'm talking about. What are the strengths and what are the weaknesses?
Thank God I'm speaking to a former police officer who did not call his rank. But since I joined police and I did this my 20 years in the police, I did not see anything in the publicity called SOP. This is the same Fred Gay sitting on this show.
Standard operation procedure.
Standard operation procedures.
I just said it.
It was never for in public safety since I joined the police 20 years ago. It is this same Fred Gay on this show that crafted all the SOPs personally operating in the entire country for public safety. That is one of the operations.
Honorable Gay, I beg to differ right there. I'm not asking you about who crafted what. I ask you a simple question. You are a police officer. What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses in the Leeward County? In other words, in Sano, I got this, but what is not happening there? I don't have radio. I don't have Batum. I don't have Camelon. I don't have handcuff. I don't have radio. I don't have cars. I cannot transmit with it. That's what I'm asking about. So I'm putting you on the road so that the next time you ask those questions, you can have the requisite answer. Because when I came on the show, having introduced myself, I said, I know you are doing good. You can do better, and you can do your best. I'm not here to discredit the uniform that I wore yesterday. No. That's a society. That's an organization. And I cannot be a member of that organization wearing the uniform, having worn the uniform rather, and come on the public to denigrate, to disgrace, to honor mine, to honor Pin, to honor court, or do anything. My duty only here is to help you. And I know we are moving incrementally. We have you now, and the man and the corner for travel education. I will be very glad for the DCP to come on this show. I mean, not the DCP, for the director of police. You were doing the ECOMOS stand. I wanted to change it to commissioner. For the director of police to come on this show so that we can help the police. My only interest here is not going to condemn the police. I hope you carry that message back to him.
Where copy, sir?
Okay, you were when you're 19 to your 44, you 10-5. Yeah, you
Yes,
10-5, my 9-9 accordingly. I've been
Yes,
there
sir.
since I was trained by what they call then it was ICA. And I want to bring some information to his attention so that
Yes, sir.
the police can better serve. I'm not here, and understand me, I'm not here to condemn you. No.
Yes.
You are doing very well. Right. But I want to be a pillow to enhance your ability to commensurate with your capacity so that the police can shine and prosper. That's why I am on this set to talk with you. Okay? So I know you understand that. I know they are thing. And what I would like to advise, I have witnessed that. I have confronted police officer, and I have even confronted Monrovia City Police. And we went to their headquarters, and the director begged. He said, "You are right, sir." There's certain thing when we are protecting the public, we ought not to do, we must not do, we cannot do, and we should not do. What we should not do? We should not inflict undue pain on the public. I have witnessed firsthand. This is not allegedly. I have witnessed firsthand. Pinsway Red Light, Broad Street, Rallytown Market, and other places. Police whipping people with rattan. Police officer whipping the public with rattan. You cannot assault your boss. You are my boss. I'm your boss. You can't put slap in my ear because I pay you out of my pocket. The tax from me pay you. And I think you have seen that too. And the recent incident at the red light, just on the last 72 hours where the stores were burning. I saw police officer with. I'm hearing myself, gentlemen. I'm hearing myself. I saw a police officer with rattan in their hand going after the public, the people in that domain, and were beating them. If you go to the video, you will see that the police could be sued because you are assaulting the person. You can just tell the person, go back. The tape line is here as a barricade between you and the place of the incident. Go back instead of beating the people. So I wanted to flag that also. You don't do that. The car wear should not be 35 miles per hour because it is a residential zone. It should not be. And to help you all in that place, what will probably work in concert so that they can minimize or control, because that's your area, Konogay, that's your area. And you are responsible to protect life and property. The next thing I would like to see happen in due time, for you to put put signboards up across the island and other areas. And then I see the trucks that are coming from the Leeward area can be overpacked. And those are a contributing factor to some of the accidents. Some of the trucks might be 10 tons. But on a 10 tons truck, you put 25 or 30 tons on it, which is almost 6,000. You undermine the weight of the truck. During our time, they have weighing stations. When the truck coming from other time, if they load on that truck too much, depending on the tonnage, you'll cut down on that load and you'll have to come down with your truck and go back for the load. So my thing here is not to condemn you, is to bring in pieces of suggestion to strengthen my former organization. That's all I am talking about. That's why I asked the question, what is your strength, or what are your strengths and weaknesses? So with that, I will keep my recommendation for the police director when he comes.
Thank you, Mr. Nippet. DCP, you want to respond? Oh, I'm sorry, DCP. Let me tell you. I'm sorry.
The DCP just left because want to go get some because my phone
okay.
went
So,
up.
let me bring you on. Because we're not seeing you. All right, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, just want to go get something because we just went off.
Yeah, 1 second. Let me mute the DCP. All right, good. But did you hear what Mr. Nippers said, right?
Well, I get it, but I better get the question clear.
It was not a question.
Yeah, so he will get to you and see the question well.
Oh, okay, he's back. Okay, good.
And so you want me to go back on what I said?
So, Chief, what I have to say is, I've seen the bottom leg of your questions. You are trying to engage the police positively. So all you said, we take note and we address it.
All right. Thank you, DCP. Let's go to Madam Claudia. Madam Claudia, your questions.
Okay, thank you very much. And I appreciate the time tonight. Before we close, I just want to show my appreciation. Mr. Gay, you have been very devoted. You have been with the traffic department for a very, very long time. So my question to you is this. We know that we have the anti-theft unit, stealing criminals, invading homes, etc. It seems to be, even though it's not far worse than murder, but it's a very bad crime here in Liberia. You steal, you could liably be killed and murdered. But when it comes to road accidents, imagine a car hits someone, innocent children crossing the road, taking the life of that person. You have actually stole so much from that person's relatives, their families, their children, the society. You've stolen a life. And I consider that to be of the same why hasn't the traffic department put together to have such a mechanism put in place, almost like the anti-theft unit, where, because we know after 6 p.m. you guys are like out of view. We don't know. We don't even see police after 6 p.m. in Liberia, if no one knows that. Police literally are off. Okay, so, and we know that after 6 p.m., that is the hours where people are at the most vulnerable, especially like people that drink and drive, people who sometimes are doing activities in a car that causes them not to be focused on the road. why hasn't the police put a force after the hours to protect people, especially drunk drivers, etc., at night, to keep them from committing tedious crimes against pedestrians and themselves? That's one of my questions.
No accident case. The reason we are alarming accident cases is for everyone to get involved. So once you are involved and someone lost their life as a result of your recklessness, is equivalent to manslaughter. So once you are arrested and investigated, you are forwarded to a court, and you will be tried on manslaughter. And once you are tried on manslaughter, you found guilty by the court, penalty is not more than 5 years. But this is why we are engaging the road safety, giving you the factors that lead to accident and avoiding these factors. That is our engagement with the public, to minimize accident and casualties.
Okay, so in other words, you don't have that first response unit. It's more so of just sanitizing and educational platforms and so on. My second question to you is this. I like to drop the ball. I'm going to drop the ball here. This might be, the stage might get a bit quiet, but I want to be the one to drop the ball. Why hasn't your department considered to partner with NASAPAL, Philip Woods National Safety Organization, an organization that seems to really be working, and they seem to have the ideas, the equipment, and the connections in Liberia? Why haven't you guys considered working with NASAPAL?
So thank you. Probably this platform could connect us to what you are saying. It's not that we don't want to get connected. So, but once the perfect opportunity is provided to us, we will be connected.
Thank you. You muted.
I just wanted to come in there quickly. When you said manslaughter, you're talking about manslaughter second degree, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah, co-host, you are muted.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm thinking that you heard me. No, thank you, Mr. Nubo. No, so I want to be very
in the shadow. I think it's my turn.
Yes, I'll come to you. I want to be very strict on the time tonight. We're going to do a hard stop at 12 midnight. We cannot go past 12 midnight. So we got 18 minutes to go.
Thank
you. Let me go to, you say you want to come in, Mr. Nubo?
I can come in.
Oh, no, so no, hold on. Let me go to Fred and we'll come back to you.
Okay.
Claudette, you want to come in?
Yes, I do. He just said something very valuable here, and you guys like jumping over the fact of what he just said. A couple of weeks ago, maybe last week, if I'm not mistaken, you had Philip Woods on this program,
right,
talking road safety, his whole policy, his whole guideline.
Your business partner.
Okay, look, we wasn't trying to go all up there. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be uncomfortable.
Look how I'm going American on me. Okay.
But he was on the program talking as if it's comfortable. I mean, something that's so easy for him to do, the engagements, all the awarenesses, he seems to have it down to a T. And here we have Officer Gay, who's someone very prominent in the road safety department, someone everyone knows about, and we know how very vigorous he is with his job and his duty, saying that he wants to be connected. Maybe he doesn't have any idea about NASAPAL or whatever. So I thought that maybe the panelist would be at least considerate to say, okay, let's dig into that, you know, because I know for a fact that proposals have been sent to your department, Officer Gay. And I also know that for a fact that you have been reached out to by Philip Woods. And in case someone did want to partner with you, what are the limitations? Because if I say, okay, I want to help, I want to come bring a team of people that's going to do this awareness, go door to door. We'll even do accident scenes to let people get the better idea of what an accident really is and how it really occurs. I know you would accept that, but I know there's limitations where you could feel a bit intimidated, like you don't want the spotlight to be taken off of you. So what kind of proposal are you looking for that you think that would really strengthen you, even though you're being strengthened right now?
Firstly, my first concern right now is data collection. So if you are coming to partnership, our interest more would be data collection and analysis, data collection and analysis.
Oh, okay, I understand. Thank you very much, and thank you for your time tonight. And
Claudia? Okay, I think her speaker probably gonna battle her. Yeah, I think that because you said that DCP, I got to come in. I'm glad that you've been upfront with that part of. And let me thank to Claudia for flagging that part of what you said. And now you are telling our audience in the listening public how they can help you and what you want as far as your improving your operations and being efficient in what you do and providing the necessary information to the general public. I appreciate that so much. So that somebody listening and say, okay, how can I want to help the police traffic division. They're looking for data. People can mine the data and be able to look into the data and make it make sense to the DCP so that he can use it and be able to improve his operation. So you're listening to my people. You're talking to no job in Liberia. You get company, you ain't get contract. The DCP already tell you what you want. If you want to go to him, you get your data collection company, or you doing data work, hook up with a DCP right here on Top FM. I beg to differ, and give us 5% of that money because you heard it from here. Thank you very much. Let's go to Fred Veteran Smith. Fred Veteran Smith, your question, sir.
Yes. Yes. Thank you very much. DCP, you broke information that were very necessary through a question about what went on at transport, and I think the matter is turned over to. I think the matter is in court. Could you elaborate on that? Is something you can elaborate, or that is far you can go on with them with that information?
So again, I remind you that the information I provided was the basis for the action with this show tonight on publicist. So the court proceeding, the administrative aspect of traffic management, I can respond to that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. One more question, or that's it?
Let's stay with that, sir, because we got 12 minutes. I want to go around the table.
Okay.
Mr. Nugo.
Okay. We have taken out the Public Works Department. We are taking out the Transport Department. and we send everything to just the ministry or the police department or in Monrovia. It's just like they made law that when you are out of the town person, you cannot drive because they are one ways and they don't tell you what one way is. There's no always stop sign. I mean, there are a whole lot of things that are absent, and the senator, the police, and who's supposed to provide the data? That the Ministry of Public Works. But our corner here tonight does not want us to talk about the agreement that took jobs from Liberians, that took millions of dollars from Liberians.
That's why you said we should get the administrator.
Okay.
The administrator.
No, I'm laying the background for my question now.
I agree with you.
Okay.
I'm saying the DCP said we should get the administrator because that is within administrator purview.
Okay. We need time to one administration and let me quickly wrap up.
Yes, please. We got 10 minutes to go.
Honorable Nepe was talking about weighing stations. I remember when we had Letsuko in Maryland County, and the trucks were coming with sugar from Maryland to Gardner's Bay, where they now have the agricultural place, that Letsuko factory or Letsuko plant. And they had to weigh all the trucks before they got there. That was accountability. And we are not doing it. Now, if you are a truck from Nigeria entering Burkina Faso, you come with the heavy tons. When you get to the border, they gotta split your load into several trucks. And who will do that in Liberia? Isn't it Public Works? Is it the police? So I think the decision was during a weird time. It was ill-conceived decision. Thank you.
All right. So that was a comment.
I don't have any question.
Right. So that was a comment. TCA, you can respond to that when you're closing. So let's go to Mr. Nippy. Mr. Nippy, question, comments?
Well, I don't have questions for the TCP or the Deputy Chief of Police for Operation. He occupies the position of John P. Tucker, the Deputy Director for Police, John P. Tucker. And, that was an honorable man. From all that he said, there are challenges which are undermining the kind of strengths that I think the Deputy Commissioner of Police needs to elevate the potential of the police in terms of doing a quality job. And I want to commend him on this show and commend the entire organization. With all of the shortcomings that they have, they are doing a good job. And to convey to the police director or police commissioner that we look forward to having his presence here so that he can fill in some of the pieces of information that we will have to put before him. And annexed to those pieces of information will be a recommendation that will enhance not only the viability, but the operational efficiency of the police so that they can leave a lasting record, because they're not going to be in the police for all the days of their lives. At a certain point in time, they will be leaving, and that baton of leadership will be handed down to others. So I like to convey to him, Colonel Gay, my appreciation for the work that they are doing. And we need to have the police director here or the commissioner of police force in due time. And with that, thank you so much, Colonel Gay. And to your chief of driver education, thank you so much as well.
Okay. All right. Unfortunately, DCP dropped.
It looks like both of them dropped.
Yeah, they did. Both of them dropped. Oh, man, we're just closing. Just 6 minutes to go.
I think they're coming back, huh?
Hopefully. Hopefully. Yeah, but I thought it was a great show. Man. I thought it was a great show. Well, the good news is, according to Fred, we are in control, not control, I'm sorry, that's not the right word. We are in strong connection with the hierarchy of the police, and we'll be getting the IG maybe sometime in May or early June. And I think we can request some of the officials, like the DCP for administration, whatever that is. I don't know how you call it. Maybe you can help me, Mr. Nipe.
Administration, because he's for operation, the administration, he's for public safety, the operation.
Okay. Yeah, public safety. There you go. All right. So we can get the. Oh, he's coming back. You're right. He's back. He's back. There you go. Hopefully you're loading it quick. He's loading. Yeah, so
Mr.
we'll
Rice?
get. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was difficult because you remember when we started the show, they said they were driving, they were
Yeah,
in
but
the
he's back
car,
now.
they had to park. Okay.
He's back. DCP, there you go. DCP, can you hear us? Yeah, I think that they're on the move, not they're moving. So that's why we need to close quick. Yeah. So maybe they are driving in an area where we call it LOS, the line of sight is bad.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not catching the satellite or the dish, whatever that is. But yeah, Veteran Smith, you can tell him it's okay. He doesn't have a comeback. I mean, we'd love to have his closing comment, but they are driving and we don't want to inconvenience them in their own operation. I think we just close the show on that. Gentlemen, tomorrow is a big day, just as it was tonight. We have the standard bearer of the Liberia People's Party joining us, Councilor Tier 1 Gonglo. He's going to be with us. I'm going to try to put a flyer up before maybe 10 in the morning tomorrow, so that we can be able to push it good for the show. But let's prepare for Mr. Gonglo tomorrow to have a good time with him. I think it's a big one. Thanks to Fred and Veteran Smith for doing all this hard work and getting all the very quality guests on the show. It's not an easy thing. I've been through that myself. It's not easy. So on that note, I want to say thank you, fellow panelists. Thanks to our listening public for being part of the show. I know I got text from you listening on through the website. But that's all for tonight. This is all the time we have. And we'll try to keep it like this. It's 2 minutes to 12. We're going to keep it like this. We cannot go past 12, gentlemen. Please. Alex, it's up to you. Thank you very much. We want to say thanks to all of our listeners and those follow
Good
us.
morning in Liberia.
Yes, it is.
All right.
It is.
Thanks to all of you too.
All right, Alex. All right, Alex. Thank you.
Have a blessed
Have a
night.
blessed night.
Same to you, Mr. Napier.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Bye, Veteran Smith. Bye, Veteran Smith. All righty. All righty.
Oh, you sound what you talk?